Save your old textbooks because the Trump administration is coming after your history. That's right. They're going to curate the Smithsonian and evaluate the exhibits to align with Trump's plans for the 250th anniversary. And it's to be a sanitized version, more patriotic, and remove divisive content. Here's the article. You can see White House launching a review of Smithsonian museums to ensure alignment with Trump's plans. Isn't that nice? The White House is launching an internal review of some of the Smithsonian Institution's best-known museums, seeking to celebrate American exceptionalism and remove what it views as divisive or ideologically driven language. The study of history is deeply ingrained in me. I've been doing it since I was a kid, from the Revolutionary War period to the Federalist Papers, the Constitutional Congress, Civil War, ancient history, everything in between. Some of the underpinnings and the Enlightenment that led up to the writing of the Constitution. And this is deeply offensive to me. It should be deeply offensive to anyone who studies history. However, if you study history, you know one indelible fact, and that is this: the winners write the history books. It's happened throughout history because nobody sees himself as the bad guy. Nobody wakes up in the morning and like, oh man, I'm really evil. Look at all the people I hurt. I better write that down and make sure everybody knows how evil I was. That does not happen. If you are the winner, you are in power, you're the dictator, you're the king, you get the best version of you written about you. That is just how it rolls. Is it right? Of course not. But I am a true American patriot. I love this country. I believe in American exceptionalism. However, you also have to include all the bad, because American exceptionalism is in the fact that these flawed individuals who were radically liberal, the most liberal human beings on the globe of that time period, if they were alive today, Benjamin Franklin would be rolling around with Bernie Sanders, and everybody in MAGAsphere would absolutely hate most of the founding fathers. That's just fact. Regardless of what they were in that time period, for that time period, they were more liberal than AOC. They were groundbreaking. It was a true enlightenment. And did they live up to that dream? No, of course not. That is what is amazing about this country, is as the years progressed, we crept closer and closer and closer to that ideal version of ourselves that the founding fathers saw. That's written in the Constitution, to be more free, to uplift more people. That is what it means to believe in American exceptionalism. It's that we as we discover them, we fix the flaws in our own nature, or we harness human nature in order to create more freedom for others, to pit forces that would tear things down against each other. In fact, that's why we have separate but equal branches of government. And that is where what has broken down here is that the founding fathers always believed that the greedy, selfish human nature and its lust for power would never willingly cede it to another person. And that's the tension between the executive branch and the legislative branch. And that's where Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and him just rolling over and giving up his own power. I want to say many words about what he is, but some weakling with no spine, just giving up his power. The founding fathers never thought someone would be that cowardly. We never thought someone would be that unselfish, that they would just willingly give the power over to the executive. And I guarantee that's something that will not be in a Smithsonian exhibit next year. So this is what we have now. We have the President of the United States rewriting American history to suit his own needs. And if he's willing to do that and nobody is willing to stop him, then we're just one step further down the road to something the founding fathers would have detested, would have fought against. If they were alive today, they'd be out wondering why this is even going on. And they'd be calling some people in Congress to task about why aren't you doing your constitutional duty? But here we go. The Smithsonian. something that's been a treasure of the United States for years, for decades, is now being meddled with. If you've lasted this long and watched this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Please hit like and subscribe. And if you're still here, I do have question for you all to drop an answer in the comments. Is what form of government and what was it called from the time period between the end of the Revolutionary War at Yorktown and the signing or the ratification of the Constitution? Please drop the answer in the comments. Thank you very much and have a great night.